hakuna la kutushinda, haiwezi.
She was a legend, Lydiah, Hellen, and joining us, Ruth Matete. Thank you all for being here, ladies. You sang with the Achieng for how long, Lydiah?
I sang with Achieng for exactly about 7 years.
For 7 whole years?
Yes.
What kind of artist, what kind of musician was she?
Formidable is the first thing that comes to my mind. I remember when I started singing with her, I was straight from church. And entering into secular music. I had no idea what jazz was all about, or Afro jazz. And she mentored me into it. And I remember the first gig after a couple of months joining her. It was an international show. And that's when we got an opportunity to travel to Dakar, Senegal with her to showcase her music. And it was great. She's a great musician.
Hellen, you had many, many different interactions with Achieng. What kind of person was she?
For me, the first thing that comes to my mind is she's a comic. She had a sense of humor. No one, not even Churchill, can beat it. But very smart. She makes smart jokes. And to me, she was like a sister. She'd look at me as a mother, yet I think, you know, both of us, sometimes we role play. You be the mother today. Tomorrow, okay, I'm the mother, you know. So you listen to me, I listen to you. But I know I had a specific phone that if she called me, it was like, you know, when the doctors have what's that
pager?
called? The pager, yes, that was a pager. If she would call me on that line, I know it's an emergency. And in fact, my Afrizo guys know, if they saw Achieng, no matter where I would be, if she called that phone, I knew there's rescue. I needed to show up, or I needed to respond to her like immediately. Right. Yeah. So for me, she was a deep friend, just way much more than just.
And you even worked together on Tasker Project Fame.
We did. She mentored me into being principal. I had no idea of what leadership was, and that was my first stage to showcase my talent in leadership. And she led me step by step. Every show she would critique, I would go to her and was like, so how was the show today? And she would guide me into what's next. And when I stand there, I'm like, yeah, guys, you listen to me. You should have known what training I went through before I came to get the confidence to be principal. So there's so much that she played into my life. And
Ruth Matete obviously won Tasker Project Fame, but not the year that she was on the show. But you knew Achieng Abura, didn't you?
Yeah, I had just been watching TPF, and it happened to be the seasons that she was principal. So I think I got to just learn a few things of what was expected when when you're in the academy. And I mean, by the time our season was coming in, she was not part of it. But I would say I also just got to learn a few things of what was needed to be done while at the academy. Also being part of a Frizo, that's how I think I got to know much about her music and what she was doing, because I was in a Frizo with Hellen Mtawali. So most of the time probably we'd also sing her songs.
Right.
So yeah.
And as a musician, she was an incredible, formidable musician, as she says.
Yeah. But for me personally, I'll be honest, I didn't, her music is not like for
it's not
this
pop,
generation,
it's not pop music,
it's for that some time ago. And I wasn't too conversant with that kind of music until later on now when I started, I think probably after TPF, that's when I got to know much more about her. Yeah.
It's really, really incredible that all of you guys agreed to come on today. People have been talking about who she was, and Hellen, maybe a lot of people find it ironic that now in her death, we're even doing a tribute to her. The people are talking about what a great musician she was. Yet she has mentioned, and she did in this interview, The Business Daily, how she did a fundraiser trying to raise money for her son, and only 10 people came.
Actually, I was the MC.
You're the MC at that fundraiser.
And I expected to see so many musicians. But oh my gosh, apart from them not turning up, we enjoyed ourselves. Because for me, I believe that there is a spirit of family. And probably through that, the attendance that people didn't show up, today now that's a challenge that we have, a challenge for every Kenyan, that let's not just show up on Facebook and write on our walls, rest in peace. Let that translate into money.
Because
so
she
we can
really
help,
wanted
yeah.
for her son to be
Imagine
to
now
get
she's
the
going
treatment.
to look for funds out there. It's only me and probably a few close friends who she confided in, who would know what she was going through. Yeah.
You knew about the relationship she had with her son because she talked about him a lot, Lydia, didn't she?
Yes, yes. I've been quite involved in her life, and she became part of my family. I became part of her. And I've watched Prince grow through thick and thin, and I've seen how she has tried to suffer on her own, trying to make it, but it's very unfortunate that we as artists don't reach out to one another when there's a need, and we need to know that one day, one time, something will happen and we'll need to reach out. So working in isolation does not help anybody. So, and I think this is a great lesson we ought to learn. This is a huge loss to us as artists, and we are praying that we can come together now and make a difference now that Prince is alone. We can take care of him best way we can.
And she went through a lot in her life. She was born in a family of 10. And in her lifetime, she saw her mom and her dad pass on. And she saw 7 of her siblings pass on in her lifetime. Her death means there's 8 out of the 10 that were in her family have since passed on.
Yeah, like I told you, she's brilliant. She's one person you can sit down and listen to. And by the time you're leaving there, there's so much that she will put inside you. For me, she impacted my life big time. And it's what a loss for us Kenyans that she didn't have time to speak so that people can hear her out there.
Right.
Right now, that's a brilliant mind that's gone down. But you know what? There's hope. One of the things I thank God for is I was able to meet her at Tusker Project Fame. And she told me, Hellen, you know why you came to Tusker Project Fame? Not to come and teach people to sing. No, you came for me. You came to make me know Christ deeper.
Wow.
And I thank God for that.
That is awesome. Ruth, you're going to perform something. What is it you're performing with your older Friezo guys?
Yeah, it's been a while since I sang with them, so now that they're here, I'd rather use the opportunity. We're going to sing a song called Modimo. I'll let Hellen just explain what Modimo is.
Modimo is Zulu, South African, actually. Zulu, between Zulu and Shona.
Also,
one of those.
Shona?
Yes. It means God is with you. Probably a word for the family to say that even in this time, God has not forgotten you. He's with you. Prince, God has not forgotten you. He's with you. And probably he'll send angels and just a miracle will happen.
I understand from Lucy, who we just spoke to, that Prince, by the way, has had he's been offered 2 scholarships, but at the moment, because he's bedridden, he can't do any of this because it's brilliant. And once again, I want to bring up the numbers, or the M-Pesa number, so if you can contribute and help get him the treatment. They need to raise 4 million shillings to get him to the UK.